Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Gaming with Blockchain. I'm your host, A-Mine-U, and you've probably been wondering what's been happening. Where have I been? Where has the group been? In all honesty, things have gotten so chaotic and so crazy, and it just really meant, we'll take a little bit of a pause, get our settings and bearings in place, and maybe, catch up to our own bleep stuff, our own shit we had to do and make sure we're just not passing on information just for sake of posting something online. So we do have bits of new information, not so new information, but just a general upkeep and catch up to what's been happening in the space of all these metaverse projects that we come to love. And of course, like I said, I'm not covering every single one. There's so many out there. I mean, thank you for all the inputs and insights from different games. I know, like, Green Rabbit's been doing well. I it's just, you know, 24 hours in a day, what are you going to do, right? And doesn't mean that we won't touch on it maybe in the future at some point. Maybe, who knows? But we have a segment, we have a bit of pool that we can actually manage. And remember too, I've been hearing certain things and concerns, whales versus non-whales. Everything I'm doing in the perspective here is basically for everyday person. I'm not a whale, so I can't share in that perspective. I'm trying to bring the information to a population that may be intimidated by the prospect. Be wise in the decision. Everything here is it's a game, but the game models have life learning opportunities, or I should say, just possibilities. But you have to be wise. You have to do your research. You can't just jump in head first and think all of a sudden you're gonna make $1 million in less than a week or less than a year. It's just not feasible. You're gonna lose your shirt, and unfortunately, people still are falling into that trap. So here we are. We're at Upland. We are looking at Oakland, the city of Oakland, and how the building prospects have been coming along. Now, before I even get deep into it, Upland just recently launched their Olympics or the games, summer games theory. I mean, we all know the Olympics have just started. Everyone's gonna be watching their favorite sport. Again, another game, another mechanics, and like all anything, there's a business component to it. There's always these commerce elements to it, but pay attention, see what works. So in this one here, it's more treasure hunts. If you're into treasure hunts and you're really good at it, I suggest definitely participate in this week's or weekend events. You have a chance to win some, hard to obtain spark, including some, unique UPX block explorers, or I should say the explorers themselves. And these are the prizes. Like I suggest that, again, if this is definitely your type of thing and you like the treasure hunts, go for it. Like, I'll put this in the show notes. If you haven't started already, I suggest really look into it. If you really like the treasure hunt and you really feel you're good at it. I'm not, and it doesn't work for me. So it's this is one of those things that will be unlikely, but doesn't mean you can't. That's the whole difference. What I do and what you may be able to do may be two different things, right? I'm just sharing the news. Take it for what it is. Go for it. So backing up in Upland itself, we're looking at some areas that are now doing their builds. What has happened here in Upland, which has been really, really good, is that people, some players, saying it will take so long to build, and they're not again understanding the mechanics of the game and what that means overall. You're not building overnight. These are structures like any other structure in real life. You have to be able to put some time into it, put some resources into it, and it does take time to do so. So I encourage everyone, even if you have zero point 0.2 spark, put it towards your build, because the whole idea is not to have something that's idle and not doing anything for you. So the time you're waiting for this miracle to happen in terms of, okay, maybe I'll have I'll get X spark in 5 days. Well, you can at that time contributing to your build within those 5 days. If you understand what I'm trying to say, like, put whatever you have to work for you, even though it's small. The other great thing that's been happening with certain groups is that they're renting out Spark. So part of the Red Hook District team, they've been doing a great job. Um, Finding lenders and borrowers for Spark and creating another in-game economy to help people or players who want to get their builds done faster. Because then again, the theory maybe is to sell it or have it on the market that's really attractive. Uh, these are all these new opportunities, and these things that just manifest themselves naturally, right, organically within the space. So I just started. I've been renting some of my Spark. I've been also just contributing it freely as well. And I just started a new build. So last time we spoke, or last time we were here, I had just finished a previous build that I had, and now I'm about to start a new build. So this is the previous build right here in this corner, and I've now decided to build a new one right here. I just started this one today. Now the good thing about this is that if I look at my assets, and these are all the assets that were in place, all the block explorers, again, not to cross anything, these are the tours, and so they've just had a specialized emoji group. So I had a laughing out loud and then a monocle emoji. But then as for structures, whoops, I've now, it will show you that the one asset's now been complete, and then those will be added to it as your assets are finished. So I've now just started this particular one here, and that will take, if I believe, about 21 days to complete. So again, it's just one of those great things where you're seeing all these new buildings popping up, and again, it's just like a slow build. But again, congratulations, Puerto Rio Hill, on getting some of these props going. Look at this neighborhood block here that's happening. Thank you guys. If it may not be the official of official, but I do appreciate all the efforts that's being made in this neighborhood as well. Let's take a look and see what's going on in other areas, and you can see, the builds are happening, the structures are coming along, and again, it's just a gradual development that, you know you put a little bit of seeds here, water it carefully like a little plant, and you start to see it flourish over time. So I'm very happy where this is going. Again, I'm not making any issues, I'm making any complaints. The summer games are there for anyone to participate. I suggest you do so. Participate. They've had some, mint first or mint collections in different cities. Again, opportunities in which to obtain more spark. If you travel to engage, to encourage more interactivity with the players. You know, Again, it's a chance to gain more spark, which is what people are looking to do because they want to build. And these probabilities are coming in more and more. So if you're in there and you're playing, always think about those opportunities as well. If you're new to the game, again, there's a lot of documentation about what to do. You can always find me on Discord. I'm at AMINU, the Catalyst. Send me a message. We can I can contact you from there, and you can see these little hubs and these little groups are beginning to build and flourish as I move on. So that's Upland in a snapshot, and looking forward to how these kind of projects will proceed and move along. Oh, this is a cool. Is that a leprechaun? Look at that one. Yeah. Haha. Cool. And sometimes, like I say, you just find these interesting block explorers that just pop up. So even that on its own is a cool investigation of itself. All right. So now we're moving on to AlienWorlds. I'm finally mining on AlienWorlds again. As we know, they've been battling the bots. Everyone's been battling the bots. I mean, AlienWorlds is not an exception. A lot of projects have been decimated in terms of where they want to advance, not the project itself, but just their own development, because they have to deal with the bot issue. And AlienWorlds have been fighting that for a while, and they think that finally seem to be getting their legs on, and things are starting to smooth out. I'm mining again. My mining rewards have been a lot healthier than they were maybe about 2 weeks ago. So it looks like the corrections are coming into place, and possibly too because now they're bringing up council for the planetary vote, which means and likely they're getting back on track on the plans that they had initially. So I'll be looking forward to where this moves forward, in terms of, again, advancing the gameplay, advancing, the I guess the governance of the planets, and moving forward from there. So it's coming. They're getting there. It's just, as I said, like any of these new projects, sometimes you have to slow it down a bit to correct issues, in order to then jump forward and get back on track. And if you don't have those kind of understanding the mechanics of itself, then you will be frustrated. But overall, sometimes all it takes is just a little bit of patience and a waiting time. Okay, so now we're going. We're heading now to our planet. Our planet have had some issues. We talked about how they reinvented the new crafting tool with the new formulas in place. On honesty, I haven't crafted anything for a while. It's just missing the timing, and it's been nearly, for me, again, myself, practically impossible. So I've just been staking. Staking's been the best, one of the side things that's been working. And right now, from their latest announcements, the robots are coming. So they'll be having robots in their latest article, and I'll put that in show notes as well. That will mean, is it a battle against these invading aliens? Who knows what that will entail. But in order to build robots, you have to have a combination of three out of the four resources that the lands create. And wakenite, which would be the fourth mineral that the robots consume. So think of that as gas. That's the best way I could describe it. But then you'll have three races of these aliens, and then within these races they'll have certain tasks or in a military form, and then what their kind of point systems will be for each of these task elements and how they be applied. So it's another layer of almost magic, and I think everyone's applying that kind of magic. If you've ever played Magic, or basically most any combat games, there's these stats that you have that you kind of weigh against an opponent, and then based on strategy and based on luck, these elements are also being applied here. So I think once that comes into fruition and everything gets launched, it will boost more confidence for our planet. As of right now, the most players are just waiting for something to happen because the blending element hasn't been the most successful in a continuous manner. It doesn't mean it's not impossible. It just means right now, for the moment, a few players are not crafting, that I know of. So we'll see. But now let's take a look at their interface. Let's look at what they've done. Remember, they have changed interface before. They've upgraded their look of their website, and I should say the tools in the website more accurately. And this has been changed. It's been updated. Like I said, I haven't been crafting to claim anything. I don't claim as much, because I'm waiting for something to be applied. So since it's not going anywhere, where's a claim needed? But here's a new interface. I think they're trying to make it designable that will be appropriate also for mobile devices. So if you're on an iPad or on a smartphone, the interface structure will be consistent all the way through. I haven't looked at it on my iPhone yet. I'm not sure how it kind of plays out, but I do believe consistency is important. It has to be. If you're going to attempt to have this format in place, it has to be working well across all three layers, and it seems that they may have done that simply because of how this design is set up. It's all contained, which is really, really great. And this is just an advert for all developers. If you're developing, and everyone claims they want mass adoption, well, you can't have mass adoption if your UI sucks. Point for now. So far, we've looked at Upland, we looked at AlienWorlds, and we're looking at our planet, and the UI has been relatively, really, really seamless and slick. I can't say that so much for other chains just yet, and we'll get into that in a moment. But that's the key from a person who's done production, for a person who's looked at many interfaces, and that is what you need. You need to make sure that the information that they see it's intuitive, pretty clean. I mean, I can nitpick if I need to, but that's not the point. What I'm seeing here right now is I see my username, I see what's in my wallet, what's claimed, I see my wax value, there's the settings, the elements, all the elements. Then I could go to the lab portion, which is where I am right now, which probably could be highlighted to know that's activated. I could go to shop, I could buy whatever elements I need. I can look at my land, I can see the land once it's loaded. What's gray means I don't have it. Very, again, clear, visual, automatic. I can see what's been in my assets. I haven't claimed them all, so of course it's all going to show 0. I could go to the settings on each one right now, and it could tell me again what I've claimed, or if I want to uplift it. Remember, I did an uplift not too long ago, but I don't need to do an uplift now. I can just go back to my land again and see. You could tell the last claim, which hasn't happened, the area I'm in, the mining capacity of this particular land. But now if I go to the Aconite, and you can see the one that I did put in for uplift has the uplift logo at the top right of the icon. Again, the information that's there and all the details that's needed. So I think this is a good start. I think this is just a process moving forward for what the game is going to be doing and what it looks to be doing and wants to do. It has to show that it makes it easier for gameplay to come in, and I think they've done it. I think outside of all the crafting and not crafting abilities, this is a great massive bonus for new players entering this stream. And like AlienWorlds and everything else, these are models that a lot of other games are now looking to adopt. I mean, I'm sorry to say, or good to say, or is it bad to say? I don't know. I think AlienWorlds and Rplanet were the cornerstones of new initiatives in now what the NFT market can do, and everyone's now taking cue and following with the same similar thing. So kudos to Rplanet, great interface. I think it's just will be a great bonus moving forward, and definitely looking forward to seeing what the robots will do. Now I could go back, I could look at what's been staking. I could go to my staking, so I clicked on my icon here, and I could look at what the rewards are. And I believe Street Fighter, from what I've been reading, their version 2 series is now being available to be staked. So I do have a pack or two on that. I may just add that to the platform and boost a bit of the staking reward there. But overall, that's about it for Rplanet. I think this is where we're going to close off. I hope this has all been informative. Again, it's just wait it out. Pay attention to groups. They've had their own artwork that's been applied. In their own projects that they've added. If you're into the art and you can buy some of the art supplies, art images from Rplanet, I recommend doing so. Some of them are really, really, really good. Again, I'm not going to, these are just personal preferences. I think for any project, it has to create their own survival on it, and Rplanet's doing the steps necessary. Despite, again, certain setbacks here and there, they're also going through that adjustment area as well. So until then, thank you for following and sharing. Thanks for your patience. Again, I know it's been a while, but as I said, sometimes you just got to set back and kind of regain your presence, and then find out where you're moving forward, and making sure that the games that you're providing information to is info that you want to share, info that you are going to pay attention to here and you want to see. And this is, I think, has been one of those times where the update has been really worthwhile in terms of where the games have been moving for the last 2 weeks or so. And we're just midway past the summer point, and we know that other things will be coming down the pipe as we move along. So again, thank you for following, thanks for sharing, thanks for the comments. Definitely continue with the feedback, continue to playing, be wise in your decision. Watch out for the websites that you look at. I mean, there's a lot of scams going out there, so really pay attention to the links. Don't link on something that you're not sure is true. Protect your assets, okay, folks? All right, until next time, take care. Bye.